Hello, Home Slices. It's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with my review for the season finale of season 3 of Netflix's The Circle, a social media competition. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let's go ahead and actually, before we get into it, I'm coming to you as a newly married woman. Woo woo. We got married this past Friday, just a few days ago, and it was wonderful and beautiful and exciting. And my hope is to do a video series talking about how we planned our wedding and how my custom wedding dress was designed, and just tips on people who are planning on getting married and how things that worked out for us or suggestions that I have. So if you are engaged, if you are thinking about getting married, if you are planning a wedding, if you have a friend who is planning a wedding, my hope is to have those types of videos uploaded within the next couple of weeks. You can direct them over here so they can get some tips. But let's talk about that later. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into what we saw today, or this past week on The Circle. So definitely will be spoilers. So if you have not seen it yet and do not know who the winner is and you want to watch it first, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to click off of here before I start talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, spoiler alert. Anyway, so I'll start off by saying I cannot be happier that James won. Okay, it is historical for the circle, for the fact that this is the first person who has won the game who actually was not one of the beginning players. I think it's 8 players that start out in the beginning, and then people get blocked, and then of course blocked players get replaced. James is the only person who has won the circle thus far who was not one of the original lineup of players who came into the game. So congratulations to James on that. Again, when he first got on there, I didn't think he was funny. I still kind of don't think he's funny, but as time went on, I admired his gameplay because he knew how to build connections with different people. And that served him well in the end because he freaking won. And that's why I was saying before in some of my previous reviews is that I think, I'll say this, look, I think that James keeping Kay around was good for him and was genuine for him. When he talked about how he wanted to protect Black women, I thought that that was genuine. When he talked about Kay being a good person to have an alliance with because she was a powerful player, I think that that was genuine. But strategically, on like a very subtle strategic level, and I don't know if James even realized this, it was important for James to keep Kay around because Kay was his scapegoat. And the reason why I say this is because the band, who were the rest of the finalists, it was Nick. The band consisted of Nick, Ashley, Isabella, and Jackson. Jackson was eliminated. So, of the 5 remaining players of the 5 finalists, 3 of them were from the band alliance. Those 3 members have had a target on Kay's back almost the entire game. By keeping Kay around, they rank Kay the lowest. And they focus so much on Kay that they let James sneak under the radar and win first place. And I don't think that that was James's intention, but it did have that kind of, effect. So, anyways, that was James played a great game. He was the only person to break the barrier of not being there from the very beginning. It's very hard for people to come in the middle of the game and make genuine connections with people. So James did an excellent job, and I'm happy that he won. At first, I was afraid that Ashley, who was played by Matthew, would win, and that would have like really pissed me off. But I'm so glad that James won. James came across as non-threatening. He made the right alliances. He made the right connections with different people, and he was the most spot on that I have ever seen when it comes to sniffing out catfishes. So I think that his instincts are very good. And even though I don't think that he's necessarily funny, he played the game great, and I think that he deserved to win. So yeah. So fifth place was Nick, which surprised me. Fourth place was Kay. That wasn't surprising. Third place was Isabella. At that point, I was like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus," because Isabella, I just didn't care for her. The way she came after Kay for almost no good reason, um, without even having a conversation with Kay, was just yucky. And again, somebody suggested in the comments about um, some of that vitriol being racially charged. I won't say anything about that, not really sure. But then it came down to the final two, Ashley and James, and I'm so glad that James won. Last year, a catfish won, and even though I liked Delisa, I didn't want her to win. There's something about, honesty being the best policy, that like when you see somebody who does not abide by that policy, it's like you don't want them to win. So I'm so glad James won. He was himself. He played the game the smartest. He made the most alliances across both um, the band and the other alliance. He made hard choices. He saved Kay, and in the end, he saved himself, and he won. I'm so happy about that. They got Jackie out of there. Again, she was the last person to come into the game. She had to get out of there. She had to go. They had like a little spa day. First off, y'all, I love Michelle Buteau. She is fantastic. She's funny. She's a great host. She's wonderful. We get to see all of the old people who got blocked, and they tell their stories. And let's talk about when everybody comes to the room and they are revealed. Nick gets there first. He's excited to see Isabella. In walks Sophia, Isabella's lesbian stumpy sister, and Nick, the look on Nick's face is like, okay, she played me, but I'm gonna be nice. That's the look that he had on his face. Then next walks in, who was third? James? Yes, James walks in. Nick confesses to being Vince. Next, we have Kay come in. Kay was real. They thought she was a catfish. And then finally, Ashley walks in, who was played by Matthew. And then everybody is blown away. And I think that Matthew's strategy as Ashley makes sense. He was saying that people get caught up playing catfish because they are one dimensional. And that was what happened with Jackson. uh, the girl who was playing Jackson, whose name is Rachel, was so focused on not being herself that she wasn't anybody. She didn't show any romantic interest in any of the ladies. She didn't show any interest in sports, any no well-roundedness. It was just a person there who was kind of there to just agree and go along with everybody else and kind of fly underneath the radar. So yeah. Moving on, they were all surprised by Matthew, and I think that of the catfishes, Matthew played the best game, even better than Delisa, who's the person who won the last season of the Circle. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed this season. I'm glad the person who won. I'm glad the catfishes got nothing, and hopefully James and his girlfriend of so many years finally get married, and he uses the money wisely to promote himself. And as a comedian, even though again I don't think he's very funny, I'm sure this is going to be a boost for his career. So, congratulations to James. Um, the other players aren't walking away completely with nothing. They have this experience, they have each other, the relationships, and I'm sure that the smart ones will roll this into some type of, career building promotion. So, thanks so much for watching. That's all I got to say about The Circle. I would love to be on The Circle at least one time. I had started an application to be on the next season, but things were just going too crazy for me with the wedding and everything. So maybe I'll apply to be on the fifth season. Who knows? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And peace out, home slices.